I guess if this movie did anything right, it was to help people remember the proper spelling of lose. Oh wait, no. They got it wrong immediately. The only way you're fighting fat with cheese is if you beat a butter stick to death with a lump of cheddar. This isn't how you spell believe. It can done appears to be missing its verb. Flicking through these pages super fast so that you don't have to write anything for me to nitpick. Female lead has to be clumsy or dang it, we just won't find her adorable cliche. This feng shui diagram does not explain how each element affects the element it's pointing at. It is absolute nonsense, which ironically might make it more accurate.
That guy deserves a ticket.
Thank the clip art lords for these traffic sign graphics. Without their much needed context, I totally would have thought Andy had been caught robbing a bank.
You're that editor from Sports Illustrated that you have been shamelessly flirting with.
Great job, movie. You made it exactly one no f***ing time at all before failing to Bechdel properly.
Wait. Here, take some samples.
Apparently whatever is wrong with poor Michelle can be easily solved by perfume and clothes. Take note, men. This is how we conquer the species once and for all. Also, Andy steals a green shirt from the red rack. Why was the green shirt on a red rack? No one tells us. It's like the movie doesn't think we care about wardrobe continuity. Wow, would you look at this compelling moment on film when a person navigates traffic on a motorcycle? It tells us so much about this badass person who can navigate traffic.
It wouldn't hurt you to do a little reading.
Citation needed.
Get dressed. Staff meeting 15 minutes. Let's go.
Wait, Lori just said,
Staff meeting in 30 minutes.
if it took Andy 15 minutes to get here and she still has to convince Michelle to get out of bed and get back to the office, they are not making it back before. Oh, never mind. They'll apparently make it with time to spare.
I have no reason to live.
Sun's out.
Belittling your friend's trauma, no matter how trivial you think it is, by attempting to cure it with a bit of vitamin D and free clothing.
I'm not gonna let you lose your job on top of everything else.
If that's true, maybe you shouldn't let her turn up to a meeting with her boss wearing a stolen item of clothing from her place of work. Sometimes I complain about the male gaze in movies, but this movie really wants to balance the scales and go full-on gaggle of women all but hump the glass while watching a man undress. Just because it's Matthew McConaughey doesn't make it all right. All right.
If I represent them, I basically represent the entire industry.
Warren gave it to the Judys. Spears and Green, they're already on it.
Well then, why the f*** didn't Tony lead with that? Why did he come here saying,
Lauer Diamonds is looking for a new ad agency. Warren wants to move on it aggressively.
why didn't you f***ing say Warren has already moved on it aggressively, you exposition baiting conversation patter? Poor Tony only gets a single fist bump, whereas the beauty of editing gifts Thayer with a double fist bump. That kind of is how you end up losing a goldfish, editors.
You could barf all over him and he would say, do it again.
Movie doesn't add this to her eventual list of things not to do to a man. Show Hudson barfing on McConaughey, you cowards.
Okay, family, shoes off.
Except this guy? Why doesn't this guy have to take his shoes off?
You work at Composure magazine. We are fashion, trends, diets, cosmetic surgery, salacious gossip. That's Composure.
Exactly. So why is Andy trying to blackmail readers who are likely quite content rotting their brains into caring about politics? Doesn't she realize that's what Twitter will be invented for?
Michelle, what have you got?
At the end of this meeting, Andy will have her article to write, but Michelle won't, and that's not a problem for the editor, for reasons.
How to lose a guy in 10 days.
Roll credits.
Why 10 days?
5 days is too short and we go to press in 11.
Also, we want to make sure we are forever confused with 10 things I hate about you. We might get some accidental goodwill by association, and it'll really piss off the movie nitpicker who accidentally watched half of the wrong movie.
I'm gonna limit myself to doing everything girls do wrong in relationships.
And I shall happily document the experiment, which makes this video everything wrong with everything women do wrong in 10 days or less in 20 minutes or less. Also, this is a fantastic level of arrogance. It assumes that you know all the things that women do wrong and leaves no room for those pesky unknown unknowns. You know, the stuff you do that you don't even realize you were doing wrong, like tricking them into being the subject of a trashy magazine article.
I'll be clingy, needy.
Be touchy-feely.
Yeah.
But doesn't this presume that all guys universally like and dislike the same thing? I don't think this experiment is going to hold up well into the peer review process.
Mullins is the après-work watering hole for the upwardly mobile.
Hey guys, we need this restaurant, club, bar place to look busy. And I don't mean lots of people busy. I mean breaking fire codes busy, or the audience just won't believe this is the après-work watering hole for the upwardly mobile. Capiche? This place seems real fancy till you realize that Ben is pouring swaddled champagne inches from a pedestrian beer bottle.
Status is the reason to buy them in the first place, which Benjamin would know if he understood women.
I'm glad this valid point comes down to a stereotypical understanding of women, and not stacks of data based on decades of market research, which is what her f***ing job should actually boil down to.
Selling a diamond to a woman is like making her fall in love.
You make people fall in love? F***. No wonder I had so much trouble. I was just trying to be myself and attract someone to me who loved me.
She has to feel giddy, desirous, adventurous, and desperate.
I want to be angry at the writers for this line about women needing to feel desperate to fall in love, but women wrote it, so I'll sin it because I'm a feminist and I believe in women's ability to write bullshit as much as men.
So who's the lucky girl?
There's that blonde babe in a leopard print. She looks like fun.
These people are fucking horrible. And I don't mean the characters. I mean whoever created, cast, and filmed this woman just to shit on her for no reason.
After I win this bet, this is mine.
Holy shit. He just called his future love interest a bitch. This movie has no respect for what?
After I win this bet, this pitch is mine.
Oh, he says pitch. Well, you movie for being so horrible already. I didn't hesitate to believe your characters would stoop so low as to call a woman a bitch.
You come to that party with a girl that's really in love with you, Ben. You can make the pitch to the DeLauers.
You remember when Sharknado's Robert Klein said,
I have to think in terms of who's best suited within the company team.
I only bring it up because deciding this $1 million pitch based on an insipid bet is f***ing insulting. And I want the guy at the beginning of this conversation back.
Unattached?
Currently.
Likewise.
Surprising. Interested?
Perhaps.
Hungry?
Starving.
Leaving.
Excitement?
Good luck. Be safe. Call me.
Friends don't let friends go home with people they just met without an agreed time to communicate, safe word, and plan to assemble the f***ing Avengers should the random stranger not be on the up and up. Also, Andy doesn't have to try this hard for her article, right? She could have gone with someone to a coffee shop for a few days. She doesn't need to get on the back of a total stranger's motorcycle and zip off to God knows where. Choosing to have your first date anywhere that requires a bib, or finger food, or food in general. The movies are a pretty terrible idea too, although a first date definitely shouldn't be at your place. You know, just don't date.
You can answer some questions for me, actually.
I'll give you 3.
Only 3 questions to find out more about the person you're going to be spending time with, and the first question isn't, do you have a criminal record? Matthew's finger dipping into the butter and eating all the shellfish as if the world isn't watching.
Have I seen your work?
I work at Composure.
Ben knows exactly what this magazine is and doesn't immediately worry about becoming an inspiration for her next article. I'm not expecting him to figure out exactly what she's up to based on this, but I would expect him to probe the likelihood of his assholery making it to print should his bet be exposed.
Still got one last question.
Considering Andy has only asked 1 previous question and Ben gave her a whole 3 to learn more about him, Andy has another question available to her. Why does she choose not to use it? At least ask about STDs. No one will be seated as Benjamin and Andy take 30 goddamn seconds to decide where Benjamin and Andy will be seated. Also, why sit on the dresser at all? There's a couch in the living room. Go there and drink in silence like everyone else.
Too fast.
Thing my college girlfriend said somehow makes it into the script. Too easy? Yeah, she said that too.
Oh, you are already falling in love with me.
I'm gonna make you wish you were dead.
Villains who assume their victims can't read lips. I'm just curious about what made this workday different for Ben. He seemed to be able to dress himself just fine today. Poor ladies at the watering hole. No nipples for you.
10 days is a marathon?
Okay, so it's more like the 3,000-meter hurdles. The point is, she's already on the ropes, guys.
Wow, that's a lot of sports analogies.
Thayer would score all the home runs at the Mixed Metaphors Olympics.
There are many dark and dangerous things in there.
He's right. This one is filled with magic. Both handles were upright and now one is down, right before their eyes. Don't touch it. It could turn you into a toad. I'm all for creative outlets, but a rom-com is hardly the proper setting for your Knicks versus Kings in the NBA Finals fanfic movie.
Benny, can you get me a soda?
Yes, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's 1:09 left in the game, and then I'll go up and get it.
Don't worry, Ben. In a couple of seconds, there will be 7 minutes and 53 seconds left in the game, so you've got plenty of time. The continuity department has got your back, buddy. Comcast.
I'm gonna go back inside and finish watching Sleepless in Seattle.
Choosing to finish that movie.
And Andy, tonight, take smaller bites.
But the point is to make him not like her, so why not take larger bites? What is this movie? Touching every fucking thing on and around the toilet and not immediately washing your hands and disinfecting your soul. We can't play it, but Andy is butchering Carly Simon so hard that the movie probably thinks this sin is about them.
What you got in the box?
Asking this question to a lady before or after anything, really.
Chef special tonight, lamb with a cherry glaze.
I wish I ate meat.
But your first date was at a fucking lobster joint. And don't give me that pescatarian shit. Fish is meat, and Nemo has feelings too.
My boyfriend thinks I'm fat.
I will never understand why Ben decides to date Andy even after the ruse is over. She's horrible.
Which shouldn't be too difficult.
Andy!
Turns out Ben puts his mug on the pool table. The pool table? What sort of asshole puts a drink on a goddamn pool table?
So it's like a dog, right?
Andy bought a f***ing dog as part of this crazy experiment. That is a living f***ing creature. Dogs aren't just for magazine articles, they're for Christmas too. This dog's wee-wee doesn't come out of his pee-pee.
So you and my mom, you talk, huh?
That's a strange way of saying, how the f*** did you get my mother's phone number, you absolute Looney Tune? Ben realizes his bathroom has been taken over by women's stuff. I don't understand why this is a sudden surprise. Andy just got there with the baby pictures, so all these things were already in his house. We saw her do it like 2 days ago. Fingering someone's mouth cleaner and then immediately fingering your own face.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm gonna share it with you.
Ben ends up getting free tickets to a Celine Dion concert, and I'm expected to believe that any human being, dead or alive, would be disappointed by that situation. Also, we'll just put aside the fact that Celine Dion wasn't even touring at this point in time. Depending on the precise year, she was either taking a break entirely or enjoying a residency in Las Vegas. Oh, I guess we won't be putting that aside.
I'm telling you, this calls for drastic measures.
Yeah, like lying to the readers about the end of the relationship. Who cares if the guy actually dumps you? Make up, Andy.
I used to obsess over Mike's old girlfriends.
You were together for 7 days, Agatha.
It's good, but it's not gonna crack this guy. I mean, this is DEFCON 5.
DEFCON 5 is the least urgent of all the DEFCONs, and I can't figure out if that's supposed to be the joke or not. Is Thayer drinking beer out of a goddamn straw?
Yummy, yummy cucumber sandwich.
Oh.
Blow. Nobody likes a Mr. Sniffles.
I'm going to take a second to ground us while this poker scene plays out. Andy's trying to show how all the stereotypical annoying things women do drive men away. But I don't think women deliberately try to sabotage men like she's clearly doing here. Going this over the top is either being unrealistic and will spoil the results of her article, or she has a very low opinion of how most women actually act. Also, this is at least a little on Ben for agreeing to a boys' night when he has precious few days to bedazzle Andy.
I love Fern! It's dead!
Take it from me, a plant murderer. If they're still green, you haven't done the job just yet.
Where's the sexy, cool, fun, smart, beautiful Andy that I knew?
Wait, are you saying the person you assumed she was after 2 days of being together might not be the full picture of the person she truly is? Yeah, weird.
It is, man. It's over.
4 days. 4 days.
Gosh,
If there are 4 days left, doesn't that mean that Andy actually lost a guy in 6 days? Does this mean the movie is almost done? Why isn't the movie almost done?
Therapy, couples therapy.
Yeah, couples therapy.
And that's all for our rom-com bingo card. Yes, there are 1,756 squares, but this movie managed to tick them all off in record time, so you're all winners. I also do not understand how bingo works. I guess the love fern should have survived because clearly Ben knows how to keep plants alive. Look at those healthy plants right out on this balcony. I don't know where those healthy plants exist when he goes outside, since they appear to have vanished, but that's a problem for another day.
Before we get started, how are you planning on paying for the session?
Before that, how is Ben not curious about the bed in the corner of the doctor's office? How is he not suspicious?
5 seconds ago, I'm gay. Now I'm a pathological flirt.
Thinking these two things have to be mutually exclusive. I paused the movie here, and Lip Gumby here may haunt my dreams forever.
You gotta watch him. He farts like a howitzer. He's family, so what are you gonna do?
I suppose you just go ahead and make it a punchline in your movie because farts are never not funny, apparently.
I got myself
the key to this game is being able to read people.
No, the key is to play with a bunch of people who decide to lie every single turn and call bullshit too often.
And it's my sister Dora.
Holy shit. In this family, you've got a military veteran, a cop, an adorable baby, and now a healthcare professional. This could only be more wholesome if there was a missing set of grandparents who died sneaking puppies out of Nazi Germany.
Andy is kicking Ben's ass in bullshit.
And no one is watching the children. There are supposedly several around here somewhere and an infant, but if we know where they are.
You have held Ben to his lowest bullshit score since his tonsillectomy.
But Andy cheated. Everyone helped her cheat. Mom helped her cheat. Is lowering Ben's score by cheating that exciting? The family could have done that amongst themselves all along. Hang a picture of a plumbing article in a bathroom. Hanging family pictures this low on the bathroom wall directly above the toilet. Who is looking at this thing? A small child taking a standing piss?
It's just that when your mom hugged me today.
Skip.
Smile. Smile. Come on, give me a smile.
Telling anyone to smile, especially telling a woman to smile. This is how you lose a girl in 9 words. I feel like this would be a good time to remind everyone that soda has about 4,300 tablespoons of sugar in it, which is more sugar than you should have on any boat ride. Wait, are her pants just open? Was that a thing? Is it still a thing? Is it a protest to the lack of pockets thing?
Philip!
Well, would you look at that? All the possible people with the information to expose all the villain's plans all happen to be at the same place at the perfect time to expose them.
How did you get all these jewelers to agree to appear at the same fete?
Movie thinks I know enough about diamonds to send this gathering's existence, and even goes so far as to explain how it's possible, as if it's the one glaring inconsistency I wouldn't be able to live with.
Mr. Warren.
Saw her, met her, she loves you, you win, get ready to pitch.
Running a business like this.
Your man Ben is a cheater.
The girl has known about the bet from the beginning. She was playing along so Ben would win.
Damn it! That's actually an excellent plan. Why didn't Ben, Thayer, or Tony come up with that? That's way easier than pretending to like her.
You're cruel.
And then Andy's boss doesn't immediately go tell her that she absolutely shouldn't tank the evening by carrying out the bet so that their advertisement deal stays afloat.
Mr. Marvin Hamlish.
Movie seems to respect Marvin Hamlish enough to give him a cameo, but apparently not enough to pay him to compose the movie's score itself.
So, Ben, why don't you come up here and sing your song?
Seriously, has the advertising check already cleared the bank for Composure magazine? Andy's boss should be freaking out right now knowing what Andy is up to. I mean, Ben's got options here, right? The only person that looks like an asshole right now is Andy, so he could totally play this off and not sacrifice his pitch, right? There's no reason for him to actually start. Yeah. God damn it, Ben.
Thayer, Tony, would you stop her, please?
Thayer and Tony survived this.
Tone deaf and drunk is not a good combination.
Funny, that's how the writers approached the creation of this movie.
You fooled me to win a bet, and you should feel ashamed.
Look, you took me to a goddamn Celine Dion concert. You made me miss the big game.
Both their careers not only survived this, but end up thriving after it.
You do know the word so well, don't you? There she goes, ladies and gentlemen, there she goes.
Ben, she was quoting Carly Simon, not the laws.
Wasn't she wearing these diamonds?
Isadora. Oh mon Dieu, security.
Apparently all the security went on break when the guests sat down to dinner because no one thought a soul would step out for a piss break, smoke break, or break away to the getaway car.
All right, you drove me half insane for a goddamn magazine article.
Oh, yeah, and you told people you could make any girl fall in love with you, and I was Exhibit A.
Hey, remember when Kung Fu Panda 3's Kate Hudson said,
True or false? All's fair in love and war.
And the Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's Matthew McConaughey said,
True.
Yeah, I want those people back. I want this to be totally amicable. You know what? We both kind of asked for this. Also, Andy might be mad about the wrong thing. She should be pissed that Ben invalidated her scientific research. You see, she can't claim to have taken 10 days to lose a guy if the guy in question was actively trying to keep her as part of a bet. Wow, the more I spell it out, the more everyone is a villain here. Why are these security guys still hanging around? The necklace has been retrieved, so are they just enjoying the scene? Well, at least someone is.
Shoes. Laser therapy, dressing for your body type.
I just want to point out that Andy works for a magazine designed for the very topics the CEO is describing. If Andy is shocked and disappointed that there isn't a political wing adjacent to the beauty section, she's an idiot. Just in case you weren't confident that she's an idiot. These dolls would have been spotted from the shrink couch during their couple's therapy, right? Between that and spotting the bed in the corner, it's impossible Ben didn't figure out what was going on, especially since he's such a great bullshit spotter. What is more shocking, that Ben lands the diamond deal after a public debacle, or that some people still consider this movie to be a love story worth watching in 2024? This awkward fist bump handshake calamity.
I've lost a guy, and I don't know why.
She doesn't know why. At the end of this first paragraph, Andy calls Ben the one. It has been 10 days! Okay, maybe he is the one, but you're not gonna know that after 10 days of not being you. And don't assume there's only one guy that's right for you. And if you do believe that, don't push it onto your potentially vulnerable readers. I put some heart into that one. Something college girlfriend lap dance. Phew, much better. More importantly, this entire article is the same 3 paragraphs repeated in different orders. Holy shit. It even keeps repeating on the next page. She really does love him. Listen, if a crazed man runs in and asks where a female colleague is working, you do not immediately tell them where they are, okay?
She's got an interview in Washington.
Of course she does.
When's she leaving?
Today.
Of course she is. Ben stops on 5th Avenue right in front of Andy's place, which is strange because there's not really a light back here where he's at. Anyway, there are hardly any vehicles in front of him by the time he's picking up speed, but somehow he can't reach her until she's all the way to the Manhattan Bridge. That's 40 blocks of a whole lot of bullshit, so we can have a stupid bridge scene to end the movie. Also, just a quick note that lane splitting in New York is super illegal. Now, that doesn't mean he wouldn't do it, but it does mean a sin for him not being pulled over once in this damn movie.
Ben, it's the only place I can go and write what I want to write.
Says the woman who lives in New York City, you know, where New York Magazine, the New Yorker, and Harper's Magazine happen to be.
Bullshit.
This works.
Take the lady's luggage back to her place. She has alternate transportation.
Trusting a random New York cab with all of your belongings.
Look who made the trip with me.
It's our love fern.
Movie decides the best way to make this final exchange as endearing as possible is with the f***ing fern instead of the adorable dog. The happiest ending this movie could have is that poor pupper never having to see these terrible people again.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Do I make you nervous? 5'9", I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day. Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
Crow the warrior king.
I give it only to the man whom I choose as my husband.
What you got in the box?
Oh, what's in the box?
I'll take over and rule the Empire.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry.
Hey,
What?
I just want to take another look at you.
Two to beam up, Scotty.